City 2, Galatasaray 0. We are through to the Champions League last 16. No extra 2 games in the playoff. We win 2-0 and other results go our way as well. Real Madrid lose 4-2 to Benfica. So I believe they're going into the playoffs and they have to play an extra 2 games. I think PSG might be in the playoffs as well, so the playoffs might be looking interesting, but City have avoided it. That's good because with the amount of injuries we're getting, Doku went off injured for Foden as well. We would have only had to risk more injuries, and that would be just unnecessary. And I thought we played really well tonight. I thought Aït-Nouri and Nunes played really well. O'Reilly in the 6th, Donnarumma in goal. I think Ake did what he had to do. There was one where he was lucky that he didn't put it in his own net when a cross came in, but... Have you won the treble? Have you fuck? I can't really get it in. But there we go. There's a trophy. And Haaland back on the scoring trail. I think that was his 100th Champions League goal. And assist from Doku. He assisted the 2 goals, Doku as well. Then he went off injured, replaced by Foden. Foden looked a bit shaky when he first came on in the first half. He nearly got Nunes in the shitter and then he had to run back and retrieve it. And if it wasn't for that, then Osman might have been in. And he did have that one chance like over the bar, like right on half time. But he did do better in the second half. He nearly had a great assist for Haaland, but Haaland just couldn't get his foot onto it. And he had, I think, a run through. And he nearly scored, but it wasn't to be. And Reinders went down, came on, and then had a head collision, and he had to wear a bandage on his head for the rest of the game. That's hopefully not too serious, but I'm assuming that it is not too serious considering he was able to carry on playing. Otherwise, if it was serious, he'd have been advised to go off. But I think our best midfield at the moment has got to be Reinders, Bernardo and Nico Gonzalez. I don't think Foden and Rodri are in good enough form to be in our starting midfield at the moment. If they get back into form, then maybe you could put them back in. But I think at the minute, you've got to stick with that midfield of Nico, G, Reinders and Foden. Even though that wasn't the midfield tonight, I think that would be a good midfield. It looked good when Reinders was on the pitch, like Reinders, Bernardo and Nico. But I don't know if Bernardo went off at that point. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure he might have stayed on. But that's what the midfield I'd go with anyway. And hopefully this Doku injury isn't too serious because we've got Spurs on Sunday and then we've got Newcastle in the Cup second leg. Semi-final. If we win that, we're into the final, and just extra games, and I think we're going to need Doku, so hopefully that's not too bad. And Gay and Semenyo will get a chance to play in the Champions League now after this win because of us qualifying for the last 16. For some allegation rules, they weren't able to before this, but it's a good chance for them. Who we're going to get in the last 16, I don't know. Obviously, we can't play Arsenal, we can't play Liverpool, we can't play Chelsea because we can't play English teams in the last 16. But other than that, we can play anyone else. The only team I don't really want to play is Bayern Munich, I don't think, because I think they look like a really strong side with a lot of great attacking players. They might not be as good defensively, but I think they've got a lot of attacking players that could hurt us. And I think that's the only draw. I'm pretty sure it can happen. If it does happen, it wouldn't be ideal. And I'm not sure we can get Barcelona either. But, yeah, those are the 2 that I'd be wary of. But we've got a good result tonight. First half, excellent. I don't know what it is with City. In this last 2 games, we've been really good in the first half, but we slowed down in the second half. But early in the season, we were slow in the first half, and then we speeded it up in the second half. And I don't know, that's a bit weird. We're not like one of those teams that's been playing well for 90 minutes. But I suppose we didn't have to play well for 90 minutes tonight because Galatasaray didn't offer an awful lot. And Donnarumma was good when called upon. And Osman didn't take the chances when he had them. He had an overhead kick. He had one where he hit it at Donnarumma straight at him. And I think that was all they really had. I think there was one in the first, but I'm not sure if he would have been offside. But I think they weren't a bad side, Galatasaray. They did play some all right football, but I just think in the final third, they just didn't have enough quality to compete with us. And I think good luck to them. They did bring a lot of good fans. and safe trip back to Turkey if there's anyone watching this from the Galatasaray point of view. If they're watching this, safe trip back to Turkey, and hope you get through in the playoffs. Because it would be nice to see like Gundogan and Sane, and it was good to see Gundogan and Sane talking to Pep at the end. I think Sane's the one that I think hurted me, because I think there was unfinished business there with Sane at City, and I think if he was in one of the like treble winners teams or like the four-peat teams, he could have done wonders and become an even better player. And I think he could have been, if he stayed at City, he could have been like top 5 sort of Ballon d'Or rankings. But I think he just wasn't meant to be for him at City, and he chose to go back home to Germany. Didn't really work out for him at Bayern. He played well at points. I think he scored against like United, and he scored against a few English clubs in Europe. But I think in the end, like it weren't as good of a fit for him as it was at City. And I think it's just a shame that he left in the end. And I wish him all the best at Galatasaray. But I think his chance of coming back to City is basically gone now. Because I think if he was going to come back, he would have come back by now, if I'm being brutally honest. But that's just sad to say. But I hope that we can go far in this Champions League. I think we've got the squad to do it. I think we just need to make sure that we play possession-based football when we need to, and play on the counter-attack when we need to, and don't give away stupid chances. Because I think at points now we're giving the ball away sloppy, and if Osman was just able to get onto it, then we could have been in a little bit of trouble. But I think we look like we're scoring enough goals at least, but just sometimes we look like we're trying to walk the ball into the back of the net too much. Like I think Aït-Nouri he had a chance near the end where he chose to pass instead of shoot, when he could have just gone across the goalkeeper, and that was a bit disappointing. But I think he's shown tonight Aït-Nouri deserves a bit more of a chance. It's going to be interesting to see who becomes more of like City's like go-to left back between now and the end of the season. Will it be Aït-Nouri or will it be Nico O'Reilly? But whoever it is, I'm sure that they put a 100% shift in and do the best that they possibly can for the team. But I'm happy with the result tonight. I thought it was a bit of a stumping block potentially. I thought it would win. I said 2-1, but I think it was more comfortable in the end than what I expected it to be. So come on, City.